I had a question related to investment. This is a big one. So what would you recommend for one of these? I call them dreamers. I'm not trying to make that a negative connotation. I like the fact that people have dreams and they want to aspire, but they're not established. They're in the dreaming phase. How much would you recommend someone actually has available, not on credit cards, but like real cash in the bank in order to have enough to get through that initial launch period and be able to kickstart a brand?
Kickstart
There's
a
gotta be a
single
number.
product brand, you mean?
Yeah, a single product brand that's going to be a multi-product brand. You never start with six keys. You usually start with one, maybe a couple variations.
Right. I mean, if you want to do private label, I usually say a minimum of $5,000. I've actually had students do it with less. I don't want to call her crazy, but what she did was crazy to me.
Okay.
What she did was she found a product that she wanted. She never even bought a sample because she couldn't even afford the sample. It was kind of an expensive sample. It was like $300. And she gathered money, pre-sold the thing to like, I don't know, 100 people, bought it sight unseen from the factory. It ended up being all good, right? And she delivered, and then she took that money and scaled it. And she ended up making like several hundreds of thousands of dollars in her first year doing this with zero money. It was nuts.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's got some rocks because I
She
couldn't do
does.
that. So, but
Yeah.
what's ideal? 5Gs is not ideal. We know that. That is bare bones. So what would be an ideal number for someone to go, hey, you know what? I have that amount of money in the bank. I think I can do this.
I mean, I would say 10K is enough. I mean, I could do it with 5Gs actually, honestly.
Yeah, but you're you and you have, close to 20 years of experience. A new student is probably going to make some mistakes that you wouldn't make.
We started with $630. I mean, this is a long time ago.
No
but
shit.
We started with $630. Yeah.
Yeah, you bought 200.
Yeah, we bought 200. Well, that was for the wedding. Like when we launched the store, we bought more, right?
Okay.
And like these handkerchiefs are dirt cheap. We just, yeah. I have so many student stories where they started with like less than $1,000 actually.
Wow.
Now, if you want to do it on Amazon today, probably not possible, I'm guessing. Probably not possible. But on your own store with the time frame, because when you have your own store, the marketing is on you, and marketing can be free if you do Instagram or TikTok or whatnot.
Sure.
So it just depends. On Amazon, I would say, yeah, probably $10,000.
Okay. That makes sense to me. So $10,000 Amazon, if you're doing your own thing, you could start as little as a couple $1,000, $5,000, and you can still get somewhere and get that seed money you need to get the next order.
It just depends on what your time frame to revenue is, right? If you're going to be like running meta ads, then yeah, you're going to need more money. But if you're just going to go the organic route, which ironically a lot of the students in my class do, because they always start out with, okay, I just want to make like $30,000 or $50,000 a year. And I don't want to be, under the thumb of Amazon or anything. And I'm just willing to just try it. And then, so they go the organic route. And then, usually I usually tell everyone to give it at least a year.
Mm-hmm.
If they go the organic route, there's students that hit like 100K in like 3 months. The organic route. I mean, some people are just good at building audiences.
That's incredible.
So, that's not normal though, but I mean,
no, it's not.
Yeah.
But it's inspiring though. And it actually inspires me to tell people like, you don't have to have before you can do, you can do now and have later. That's what's cool about that. So therefore it kind of removes the excuses of taking action. So I remember about 5 or 6 years ago, and correct me if I'm wrong, if this is still a big thing, but 5 or 6 years ago, I used to be just absolutely battered with ads on drop shipping. Like everybody and their mother was selling a drop shipping course. Like, don't buy any inventory, yada, yada, yada. It kind of went away, at least on my feed. Is that still a big thing? Because to me, it seems like a lot of people are not going that route these days.
I mean, I think that the main drop shipping ads that you've seen, it's done now because of the tariffs. Not the tariffs, but the de minimis exemption going away.
Yeah.
So before, everything was shipping from China tax-free, right?
Yep.
And so you could get away with these high margins. Now it's a minimum 30%. And I think it's going up to 55% or something like that, which basically ruins the model, right? Like Temu is finished. Actually, Temu is the other reason, right? Temu is like the best Chinese dropshipper there is. It's hard to compete with them. Yeah.
So you actually
I'm glad.
You actually think Temu in the US is on life support?
I think so. I mean, the numbers reflect it, right? I can't remember the latest numbers, but they pulled all their ads off their app and it dropped like 42%. Their revenues, I can't remember the exact numbers, but they were pretty drastic drops as soon as that de minimis hit.
Wow.
Exemption. Yeah.